We all remember last August, just days after the Bills announced that the nicknamed Punt God, Matt Araiza, is that his name? Matt Araiza?
Araiza, I believe.
Araiza?
No D.
Oh, Araiza.
Araiza.
Okay, Matt Araiza, who he was at San Diego State. So he's the punter at San Diego State. He was All-American, wasn't he?
Yeah, he won the Ray Guy Award. He set all the NCAA punting records, longest net average, longest punt.
So this guy won the punter job, and then the story came out that he had been accused of rape, being part of a gang rape, obviously a very serious subject, of a 17-year-old girl in his off-campus home. And, you know, we all talked about it. The team got pressure. Originally, the team said, well, we've vetted this situation, blah, blah, blah. Well, a couple days later, they cut him because they got pressure. Okay. Fast forward to now. Just this week, the story came out that after a thorough investigation, not only did they find out that there's a lot of question marks about whether this girl was raped at all, according to prosecutors, according to a thorough investigation, which they have videotapes, 30 eyewitness testimonies, including friends of the girl. But apparently, Araiza was not even there at the time of this alleged rape. Now, there is still a civil lawsuit ongoing. However, it does appear that he had nothing to do with this. Now, he has admitted that he did sleep with this woman, and she is 17 years old. I don't know if he knew her age or not, but to me, an NFL team should sign him. He's been vindicated from any rape charges. Okay? He clearly did not rape this woman. That seems pretty obvious. Mm-hmm. To me, if I'm a team and I need a punter, this kid was great in college. If I'm the Browns, I don't like Bjorquez. I'm going after this kid. I don't see any reason not to. Do you have any reason not to?
No, I think if he's clear and he's not, you know, in this situation where he's involved in that situation and they're saying that he's good, then he should be able to play football and continue his life. I mean, if it comes out that, you know, she falsely accused him of being in this situation, I don't see why he should be punished for that. I mean, he did nothing wrong. He should be good to go and play football and do whatever he want to do. And there shouldn't
I'm
be
not hiring him because he, at 21, 22, slept with a 17-year-old. He didn't. I mean,
yeah. That's something totally different. Right. But what I'm saying is, if he's not brought up on these charges and none of that has anything to do with him, I don't see why his life should be at a halt because of that.
Yes.
If he's innocent.
Gene, what's your thoughts on this?
So this is so layered. There's so many layers.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many layers. So as you do some of the looking.
Did you read Dan Wetzel's article on Yahoo? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Everybody should read. First of all, when it comes to stories about, like, he does a lot of college stories, and obviously this alleged incident took place in college. Dan Wetzel is the writer when it comes to stories of this nature. Like very layered stories, Dan Wetzel is the best. And if you read the article, there's no way you don't think this guy's innocent.
So, you know, just to give you context, it says the girl and some other high school friends became aware of a party was being thrown at the house just a block from San Diego State campus. The group let themselves in to a back gate witnesses interview from the party, including two other girls' friends, whom she arrived with, said she didn't appear to be drunk at the time. Other witnesses said that the girl was telling people she was 18.
Yeah.
So basically,
and also in this column, it goes on to say that there is
video evidence
of
her saying
that appeared to show that she wasn't raped. Now, again, we don't have every last detail. So whatever. The point is, he clearly had nothing to do with whatever did or did not happen.
So I've always said this, and I think it's dangerous that when people say, you know, you just have to believe all people. When you talk about somebody's life, I don't understand why adults don't have the patience or foresight to take every case as a case-to-case scenario and wait till things play out. Today, everybody is just jumping to be the first one to say, I believe this, or I don't want to, this didn't happen or it did happen. Like, we have to. This is a perfect example of sometimes the circumstances can look a certain way, and the climate could be something, and then you just move to make a judgment on somebody, and then that person becomes that forever. Now think about it. Like, he was cut. Now instead of saying can he play the game, you're thinking as a team, do I want to answer some reporters' questions about whether or not we're sensitive to women and sexual assault by bringing him in?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, even though this is a thing where it looks like he's being exonerated, you will still have people that say, there's a million other punters. Why bring that guy in to answer these questions?
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be the case.
And that's fair, and that's going to affect him.
Exactly
if I were the Browns, I would do it. I'd sign him today.
You think he's better than Bjorquez?
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, if I'm a team that thinks I need a punter, I'm bringing him in for a tryout and seeing what I got in him.
For sure.
Because here's the thing I have to tell myself, too. Sometimes, as being a minority, you have to go over and above to prove certain things to get the benefit of the doubt. And I had to tell myself, all right, you got Perion Winfrey. He's under some cases. You've had Kareem Hunt. He had some opportunity. He did some things that we know about. And then we all know what the Deshaun Watson story is. I can't say I'm going to eliminate your ability to earn a living just because of what somebody allegedly said you did and it proved to be false.
Right.
Just because I don't want that.
And by the way, I've read multiple articles about because I wanted to know this because it comes up all the time. Like, what percentage of accusations turn out to be true? And by and large, the large majority of accusations by women in these situations are true.
Facts.
However, there are a percentage that are not. And so until we know, and probably all of us, certainly I've probably been guilty of this. I remember the Duke lacrosse situation.
Yep.
I quickly jumped on the bandwagon. I was like, these Duke guys, I assumed they were snobby assholes. And they were innocent, those guys. And, and that was wrong on my part. And everybody wants to have a reaction so quick. But whether it's 5%, 10%, whatever, there is a percentage where the stories are embellished or flat out lies. And in those cases, because of those cases, we all need to take some time before we know the facts. Mm-hmm. And this kid should not have. The Bills were pressured. I get it. But it was unfair because nothing had been proven against him. It was just an accusation. And so, the whole jumping to conclusion is unfortunate. And now the kid has paid the price. Hopefully he'll get a job and an opportunity now.
I don't have a problem. The Browns come out and give him an opportunity like any other team gives them an opportunity. But I will say there needs to be certain accountability for people who are saying certain things. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be very specific. If someone claims that sexual assault happened and they are not being accurate or truthful about that, there needs to be accountability against that person as well.
Yeah, and there has to be proof that she lied.
It has to be proof.
Just like, because we don't want women that are abused, that are raped,
or
men to be scared to come, be afraid that, well, maybe if I can't prove it, I'm going to get in trouble. There has to be proof that the person lied. But if this woman made up this story and that can be proven, then there should be a penalty for that. 100%.
I agree.
She should be arrested for that.
I had a friend that came at Ohio State that had that happen to him. It affected his draft stock. She said he raped her, and that never happened. And he went. This guy was a potential top 10 pick. I mean, he still went first round, but he went later in the draft, and it cost him millions of dollars.
Yeah, and that's not right. And there should be consequences for that. Just like there should be consequences, obviously, for people who do horrible things like this. There should be consequences if you falsely accuse somebody.
And I don't care if I agree with you or even if you're a politician or listen, everybody deserves a date in court to defend themselves. I don't care if you're the worst person in the history of mankind. You deserve an opportunity to go through the process to defend yourself. And we talk about what America is and what America ain't. That's part of America. You get an opportunity and you'll say, in front of your peers or in front of a judge saying this was this side of the story and this was that. I don't think people should be canceled on internet, canceled because somebody said, hey, I'm not going to rush to judgment. So I don't think people should be rushing to judgment to condemn them, and then also condemn the people who aren't running around with pitchforks too.
It'd be interesting to see if the Bills bring him back, or if he even want to go back to the Bills after they,
That would be actually interesting.
Yeah.
Thing.
Go ahead, Mike.
We got a poll coming up in 1 sec. I'll read you the results of what the YouTube chat is saying about the Punt God. But do you guys think he does land in a camp? Like, do you think a team will take the risk? Because as we know, not every position's created equal. You put up with more distractions for a quarterback than you would with a punter. He may be exonerated.
Oh, my God. If Deshaun Watson were a backup quarterback, he'd be out of the league.
Yeah. So do you guys think that he will end up in a camp?
I do. I actually think he will.
I think he will, too.
Yes.
If he's that good, even at that position, which is, it's an important position. If he's that good, he's been exonerated. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
He didn't do anything.
He wasn't there when this alleged incident happened.
So that's how hard it is. This is the point. Because every single time we keep saying, is he supposed to be in camp?
Yeah.
You're like, he didn't do anything.
Right. The only thing he did, I guess, is technically, according to the state of California, he did sleep with an underage woman, because in most states, the age of consent is 16 or 17. In California and a couple other places, as we were looking at before the show, it's 18. So technically he slept with an underage girl. But, A, we don't know if he knew that. And personally for me, this is just my own opinion, he's 22, whatever he was, sleeping with a girl who's 17. I mean, that's the age of consent in most states. I'm not going to not hire him because of that, for me. And I don't even know that he knew her age.
Yeah, so there's a discrepancy about that. Yeah. So either way, Tyvis, you just it's hard, you tell athletes, and that's just one of the downsides, I think, in being an athlete, is you don't think about it like this.
You got to be careful.
You have to be pinpoint in what you do.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's
right.
right.
I mean, they give you so many lectures on it, throughout the college, throughout the NFL. There's so many people that come in and talk to you, to the point where it was just like I remember being in college and, this person was giving an example. It's like basically they were saying, like, if you slept with a woman and the next morning, if she didn't feel right, then she could take you in. And we was sitting there like, so if everything went good, and then the next morning, like, she just said no, then you will go down for that. And it's kind of unfair at times, but you just got to be careful who you're dealing with, and that's the thing.
You got to be wise in your decision making when you're young and rich.
Yeah,
especially.
Pretty much.
Go ahead, Mike.
We got the poll results, then we'll move on to one more Browns topic. But before we tell you what happened in the poll, we got to tell you who brings us the poll, and that, as always, is our good friends at PCC Airfoils. If you're looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits, well, PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions, starting at $18 and up, plus full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. You can apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. We asked the poll, should any team who needs a punter consider signing the Punt God? And 86% said yes, absolutely, they should.
Yeah.
So they're aligned with us. It sounds like he didn't do it. It's going to come out that he wasn't even there potentially.
Right.
Just until officially it's
Well,
officially.
he wasn't there at the time of the alleged incident.
He should be exonerated, and if that's the case, absolutely should get another shot, because he was the Ray Guy award winner, and punting's a thing that does translate from college to pros. It's the same field, same football, or it's a little different football, but if you can kick a football, you kick a football.
He was drafted last year in the sixth round.
Which never happens as a punter.
You don't see punters. The
Bengals
Bengals drafted the Michigan punter this year in the 6th round, but you don't see punters drafted very often.
What did he punt it for, like 94 yards or something like that?
He broke the college record for most punts over 50. He had an 84-yard punt in college.
Oh, 82.
Every record.
I mean, if you break the record,
82-yard punt in preseason.
That's crazy.
And if you break the record for most 50-yard punts in college, I got to believe there's a place for you in the NFL.